Welcome back to Ms. World Traveler in New Orleans. As exciting and historical as the French Quarter is, we're moving on to Magazine Street, a 6-mile stretch of one locally owned shop after another.
Dating back to the early 1800s, when it became home to public markets, stores, and restaurants, Magazine Street weaves together commercial and residential properties with a distinctly unique flair. Think of it as Main Street USA, New Orleans style. And with independent boutiques being the norm, it is easy to see why Becky Fos chose it for her showroom, Gallery B. Fos.
Hi, my name is Becky Fos. I'm a local New Orleans artist. Here in the heart of New Orleans, I have my gallery. I've been here for about 7 years. And as you can see, I paint in really bright colors. And as an artist, I believe that my purpose is to bring more joy and happiness into the world with my colorful art. And I just hope that when people see my art, they smile. And I believe that that's my purpose in life. And I'm just super excited to be able to use my gifts and talents to uplift people.
With a personality as colorful as her artwork, Becky Fos injects passion, bold colors, vibrancy, movement, and joy into every palette knife stroke, magnifying the beauty around her with her depiction of Louisiana's oysters, pelicans, alligators, bayous, musicians, and architecture. On the other side of the spectrum, imbued with soft pastels and the very definition of pretty in pink, is owner Leah Blake's curated vintage collection at Century Girl, as explained by store manager Bethany Pickard.
So we're here at Century Girl, and this shop is just so pretty. I call it pretty in pink. So what was sort of the design idea behind just making this so feminine and so pretty?
I think Leah, her original kind of idea for the space was like vintage Dior boutiques. So she referenced a lot of those and like Schiaparelli. But yeah, like Parisian boutique is kind of the idea.
Uh-huh. Well, I think you have done that and more, right? You walk in, you just feel transported to another time. And that's the whole point of vintage clothing too, isn't it? That you feel transported when you wear it.
Absolutely.
Do you have some favorite pieces in the store?
Well, one of my favorite pieces in general was this one that I was telling you about earlier. It's a little 1920s number that we've had restored with the heat press gelatin sequins that you never see. And they just shine so beautifully. They're almost iridescent. Like
Yeah, they have like an AB on them.
Yes, yeah, but that one, it's just so beautiful. I could stare at it forever. It's so gorgeous.
Uh-huh. You ever put it on? No.
It's just so
touch, right?
Exactly. I wouldn't try. I'd be too scared.
You're also telling us about this Japanese designer.
Yes, that Hana Mori, one of the first like Japanese designers to make it really big in the Western world. She still used a lot of Japanese motifs, but so noticeable and like so recognizable with her colors, very vibrant colors always. A lot of very diaphanous kind of social chiffon silhouettes.
Mm-hmm.
But
And what year time frame?
that would be 70s.
Okay.
A lot of the pieces you find of hers are 70s. But always very, very recognizable, and I love that one so much.
Uh-huh. So what kind of like time period range do you run in this store? From 1920s or maybe a little older?
I would say like 1890s up until 2004, which is now considered vintage. But yeah, 1890s
I guess
to
I'm
2004.
more than vintage now, right?
Yeah, 1890s to 2004, so that entire kind of range.
Uh-huh. What's your favorite time period?
You can't tell today, but 70s. I wear a lot of 70s clothes. Mostly 70s and some like Edwardian pieces I wear. They're very nice in summer here. Yeah. 70s.
So why? What is it about something from the 70s? What is there a style element or something that draws you?
I love like gunny sacks. I loved
wearing gunny sacks.
Yeah.
I wore them to prom. It was back in the day.
Yeah, I love like the prairie look. Again, you can't really tell today. But it's also really nice in the summer here when it's so hot to wear like a lot of like cotton voile. It's just very wearable and very comfortable. I love the pastel colors too.
Okay. Well, you've kind of done that in the store here with the pastel colors. So who is your market? Who likes to come and shop here?
It's a range, honestly, and we've done a lot of discussing about what our kind of target market is, but there's younger girls that come in and want to wear vintage and want to start getting into vintage. And then I love when older people come in and are like, I used to wear this, or my grandmother used to wear this. So honestly, it's a range. Young people, older people that like to wear fun stuff, because we have a lot of sparkles and glitter here.
Yes. And stuff you don't see everywhere.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's not necessarily one of a kind, but it's kind of.
Yes.
Because it's been around a long time, so you're not going to see it out on the street.
Yes. People that want to make a statement. It's a huge range, honestly.
One of the things I noticed, I mentioned to you the other day, was about your cameos. Your original vintage cameos.
Yes.
When we were just at Cameo Italiano in Rome and talked to them about their cameos, and I have my cameo watch on.
I love that.
Isn't that nice? So can you tell us a little bit about, do you have any stories of some of the cameos that you have?
A lot of the cameos we have here are more modern pieces by a designer called Bethany, who makes a lot of our like vintage inspired pieces. We do have a couple of authentic older ones. There's one in here that we just put down, again, that was in the archives for forever, and she is so melancholy looking. She's right over there, but I love her. But yeah, we have a few authentic cameos, and then we also have the modern recreations that are a bit more accessible.
It's sort of something for everybody if you,
Absolutely. You can still get the look at a more accessible price point, or you can go for the real authentic, older ones. So.
Great. Yeah. Well, there are a couple pieces right behind you. So would you grab that second dresser? You were telling me about that one.
Yes. So this is by a modern designer called Corinne Margaret. She's actually local, and she makes everything out of vintage silk scarves and just like hand dyes a lot of this too. So it's all one of a kind. She just collects pieces and then pieces them together to make really, really gorgeous pieces like nothing else. And this one actually has a little overskirt that goes over it too.
Oh, look at that.
But her work is just incredible and immaculate. Honestly, the seamstress level that she does is like comparable to a lot of haute couture pieces I've seen.
Right. Well, of course, the corsetry here,
It's
beautiful.
so gorgeous.
But it looks like it's this big.
This one's tiny. This one I will say is little, but she does do a like range of sizes. Like pretty much anything you can get her to do, because she works with so many silks that are cut on the bias, and like she knows how to flatter a body. She can do anything for anyone. She's fantastic.
Well, I think that's important, because that's the problem with some vintage is the sizes are really so much smaller, and then a lot of the fabrics do not have stretch in them, so it's hard for the modern day woman. She's used to having a little bit of stretch, and everything's, it's tighter.
Yes. And a lot of them were worn for certain, structural garments underneath that we don't really wear today, like girdles, which then just became a bra. Yeah, a lot of them require those structural elements, and if you're not wearing them, they don't work. And that's kind of hard sometimes.
Right. So thank you for, doing some modern reproduction of it, right? So that you can get the look and the feel without, having to put on a corset and not breathe.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, but I think it is nice to have some modern pieces in here too. And it honestly helps kind of keep things fresh. So you have the older pieces mixed in with the new, and everything feels kind of timeless in a way, because they all go together so well, which I really appreciate about this space. It's like a very good blend of some really, really old pieces and some modern pieces, but they all work together and kind of enmesh. So, yeah.
Since 2014, Century Girl has been dressing women who appreciate fine fabrics, romantic styling, rarefied elegance, and a decidedly feminine atmosphere.
If you loved the frothy feel of Century Girl, you'll be delighted to know that there are many more enchanting shops on Magazine Street to entice you. But you'll have to wait until the next segment of Ms. World Traveler in New Orleans. Don't go away.